Welcome back, Nerd Squad. Heroes can come from all sorts of different backgrounds. Many of them originally started earthbound, but as we've explored outward in comics to other planes, dimensions, and even planets, we have discovered heroes whose origins extend to and even beyond the cosmos. As we discovered cosmic heroes, it only made sense that we would soon discover cosmic villains as well. Today we'll take a closer look at some of the cosmic threats who also tend to be even greater than their Earth counterparts as we count down the top 10 cosmic supervillains. Give this video a like if you like exploring the comic book cosmos as much as we do. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. MAGUS. The evil side of Adam Warlock, MAGUS' story is a complex one filled with general cosmic confusion, but I'll simplify. Basically, MAGUS is an evil alternate future version of Adam Warlock, who was created to oppose Thanos. He got bumped around through time and found himself educated by chaos and order. He used what he learned as principles to build his own faith and his own church, going on to use this burgeoning religion to fuel a holy war which would rage throughout the cosmos. Pretty impressive. He later wreaked havoc with an army of evil doppelgangers of all of the heroes, who even proved too much for Thanos originally to handle. You know you're serious when Thanos is like, whoa, jeez, ooh. Number 9. The Beyonder. The one we know as Beyonder is in fact only a young member of a group of others known as such. Beyonders. The Beyonder is a mysterious cosmic being who came to our Earth and found himself obsessed with the fact that everyone on Earth was only a part of themselves and incomplete, as he realized there were many different alternate universes in which they all seemed to also live. He was the one responsible for creating the first battle world in the original Secret Wars event, where he pitted heroes and villains against one another. He is known for his ability to manipulate reality, and for his apparent limitless power when it comes to his mental and physical strength. In other words, you don't mess with the Beyonder messes with you. Number 8. PARALLAX. PARALLAX is basically an intergalactic fear parasite, but he kinda wasn't always such. Originally, PARALLAX was simply evil Hal Jordan. DC had likely turned him evil to get rid of him while Kyle Rayner took over as the Green Lantern, brought in to help refresh Green Lantern comics, and reignite some sales for the series. It wasn't until much later that we would find out that the evil actions of Hal were not his fault really, and that he was under the influence of a parasite whose name he had adopted at that time, PARALLAX. It turned out that this cosmic being had been imprisoned within the central power battery on Oa, where willpower was being used to contain it. The Guardians of the Universe knew this, but they decided to keep it a secret for fear that, someone would release the entity. In the end, Sinestro was the one who awakened it after being trapped in the battery himself. I mean, probably a bad move to trap him in there, to be honest. With like a fear parasite. I feel like, you're already seeing that's probably not going to go well. His hatred of Hal Jordan turned PARALLAX onto Hal. PARALLAX worked for years to increase Hal's inner fear and self-doubt, and even was responsible for turning the hair around his temples white. Yeah, fun fact, that was PARALLAX. Now you know. And knowledge is power. Number 7. BRAINIAC. BRAINIAC is a famous villain known for shrinking the city of Kandor on Superman's homeworld of Krypton. He comes from the planet Kolu. He is brilliant but also fairly weak when it comes to, swinging punches. In one iteration, he could not even leave his spaceship for fear of being killed from all the diseases and illnesses on planet Earth's surface, as his immune system was low when it came to Earthborn illnesses. As time has progressed, however, BRAINIAC moved from being a lesser known cosmic plot device to a bona fide supervillain. He even at one point attempted to strengthen himself dramatically after finding out his current body was dying. BRAINIAC plotted to possess Doomsday's body as his own. Well, this plot was eventually foiled. For a time, this merging of BRAINIAC's mind and Doomsday's body made him one of the most powerful beings in the universe. For a little while. Fortunately, it all got foiled. Dang it. Too powerful. Number 6. Phoenix Force. The Phoenix Force is both a terrifying and kind cosmic entity. The terror it induces, in fact, truly only exists because it is so powerful, and often many are unable to contain its power, eventually becoming corrupted and evil as a result. The Phoenix Force itself, however, has often seemed selective in regards to who would grant power to, although it did seem like not super picky when it bonded with Thanos' son Thane, who was just about to die at the time. I don't really know why else it picked Thane. I mean, I guess Thane's kinda cool. Is he cool? I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Do you think Thane is cool? The Phoenix itself has seemed to always prefer Jean Grey as a host when it has the option, but it will settle for others who it feels has a certain amount of potential. The Phoenix has always allowed its hosts insanely destructive powers. If used for such, it has been known to destroy entire planets. There's a lot of planet destroyers in the cosmos I'm noticing. I'm noticing a pattern. Number 5. Anti-Monitor. Anti-Monitor represents everything antimatter and evil. There are a few different stories that explain where he comes from, but in essence, his existence is tied to the multiverse. Both he and his heroic counterpart Monitor are in fact tied to the multiverse themselves. Anti-Monitor has been shown as a comic villain who strives to end all of the alternate worlds within DC, and he and the Monitor are often referred to as the ones who shook everything up dramatically for us in the DC comic book world, originally during the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline. Anti-Monitor has been perceived as one of the most unstoppable foes the DC heroes have encountered when it comes to his powers. He has reality warping powers, which he used to remove Psycho Pirate's face, and he can absorb the energy around him, even managing to use this ability to suck dry entire universes. Not just worlds, entire universes! He's like, I'll take that alternate, I'll take that alternate, I want some fries with that, delicious. Number 4. Darkseid. Darkseid was born on the planet Apocalypse and was originally known as Prince Euxus, second son to the king and queen of the planet. Despite being second in line, the prince aspired to one day rule the planet. He murdered his own brother to seize more power, taking the name Darkseid afterwards, and eventually killed his own mother for poisoning his love Sully. His whole story is very Shakespearean and very Greek tragedy, complete with a prophecy that one of his sons would one day defeat him in battle. Darkseid is often presented as the enemy of the Justice League. He killed half of the Amazonians in Themyscira when they refused to help him overthrow the Olympian gods. He has always been obsessed with control and power, so much so that he pursued the anti-life equation, which grants its owner full control over those who are exposed to it, stripping the victims of their free will. That's what Darkseid is into. He's like, no free will. Do what I say. It's like a really bossy parent. That's Darkseid. Number 3. Thanos. Similar to DC's Darkseid in many ways. Born an Eternal on his home planet, Titan, Thanos would grow up to be a fearsome disappointment to his parents, especially his mother, whom he would eventually end up killing. Thanos was always pulled towards evil and darkness, even from a young age, as he became obsessed with a love of death. His love of Mistress Death, who usually appears as a concept in sexy lady form in the comics, would drive him to kill entire worlds in her honor, causing him to be known as the Destroyer of Worlds. As a result, the Mad Titan is often categorized as being one of the greatest threats in the comic book world, often perceived as an almost unstoppable force, and it is only when all the heroes of the cosmos or of Earth come together that they even stand a chance in stopping him, though he has killed them all before even, so there you go. In Volume 2 of the Thanos series, he managed to wipe out everyone in the universe, save for a Mjolnir-wielding Silver Surfer, though he eventually killed him too, so Thanos is one of those inevitable villains. He's always gonna show up, he's always gonna kill everyone. But don't worry, you'll all come back, it'll be fine. Number 2. Doomsday. Doomsday is one of those villains I almost feel bad for. He can't help himself. He originated on prehistoric Krypton and was created through a series of evolutionary experiments conducted by Bertrand. Have you ever noticed how evolution-based scientists always tend to be bad news? Like, they're all evil, what's up with that? Bertrand basically kept cloning the same deceased baby's remains after its death to speed up the evolutionary process of their genes, causing them to adapt slightly with each death. Because comics. The result ended up being Doomsday, who eventually was able to resurrect himself after each death he suffered just on his own. And due to dying so many times and being experimented on and tortured throughout his genetic history, he grew to hate life. It is this hatred that has made him such a ferocious enemy, as all he often wants to do is kill and destroy. He eventually made his way to Earth after falling through a tear in space-time, terrorizing a planet for years, and after being thought dead, was shot out into space. And he landed on Earth. True story. Number 1. Galactus. This hungry supervillain is so ingrained in the existence of the universe that we once learned in an alternate universe that eliminating him in the comics had actually been a bad idea, prompting Franklin Richards to take his place. Galactus was once a scientist known as Galen, trying to save his home world from the end of, well, not just their world, but the entire universe. Sadly, he realized that resistance was futile, and he and the rest of his people decided to accept their fate and instead fly into their own doom. Miraculously, Galen survived and found himself chosen. Probably felt pretty bad about that. He was granted with great cosmic power, but with it came great hunger, causing him to eventually become the Devourer of Worlds we so famously know him as. Thank you for watching Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed this list. I personally love the cosmic world in comics. It can get really weird and really complicated, but it can also be somewhat oddly simple sometimes. I love that about it. It's just a strange place, and much like our own cosmos, filled with wonder and mystery. Who are some of your favorite cosmic supervillains? If you could visit any comic book planet in the cosmos. Which one would you most like to visit? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Superheroes Who Need a Symbiote. Wilson Falk says, I preferably would like to see Black Widow with a symbiote. Ooh, I like this. Someone sent me some awesome artwork on my Instagram for my Blood Witch, Scarlet Witch, and Carnage idea. Someone please find me some artwork for Black Widow and Venom. Could we call her, Venomous Widow? Elsa Vargas comments, give Homer Simpson a symbiote. Imagine the amount of food he could eat with one. Oh dear, I fear that Homer Simpson would become another Galactus if we did that. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your comment featured in a future video. The future, ooh, the future. And if you love us here at Top 10 Nerd as much as we love you, let us know it by clicking that subscribe. This has been Top 10 Nerd and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. You stay nerdy, YouTube.